Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. I'm in Belleville, Illinois tonight. Really a treat. A visit I wanted to make for a while now to come visit Tom Renner. Tom, as you can see, has just a few John Deere tractors. And Tom, you are a John Deere dealer, Shiloh Valley Equipment.
Yes.
One of the few single store Deere dealers kind of left in the country.
Yes, we are.
You're a hero. That is really cool. You got started in the John Deere business, Tom, what year?
1973.
1973. And how'd you get involved in the equipment business?
Well, I went to Wabash Valley College and graduated from there with a ag tech degree, and worked for the Alice Chalmers dealer for several years, and then decided I want to start my own business, and we started selling short line equipment and Deutz tractors.
That was the late 60s?
Right in the late 60s.
Okay.
And in 73 we got John Deere, and we still sold the Deutz for several years until they combined with AGCO.
Okay.
And
So you went from Alice to kind of the Deutz now to John Deere since 73.
73, right.
73. Okay. I guess we have a few tractors and a few sheds here, Tom.
Yes, we do.
You haven't told me how many sheds you have yet. You haven't revealed. But we're talking over 100 tractors?
Over 100, right.
Okay. Well, and I understand there's a few special ones back around down the first row here. Can we take a walk and
Sure.
and see what we can see?
All right.
And we got the crew here. We got Jake that's in the business, Jake Renner.
Hi.
Jake, you've been in the biz since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Correct.
Okay. And who we got here now?
My daughter Nicole.
Nicole. How old are you, Nicole?
7?
7. And are these Grandpa's tractors?
Yes.
What do you think about Grandpa's green tractors?
They're cool.
They are very cool. Absolutely right. And who else we have here now?
Jody.
Jody. Okay.
My daughter.
Nice to meet you, Jody. And again, we got Zach and John Lorenzen. Customers? Seth? It's Seth, right? Okay. Well, let's take a walk here. Tom, you lead the way. I understand there's a particular 4430 we need to stop and talk about.
Right. Starting out here, we got a couple of 4030s that we actually use on the farm, followed by another 4230 that we farm with.
Okay.
And then we got this 4430.
Okay.
It's actually the first tractor I sold when I went in business. It's a power shift,
Okay.
and I've owned it 3 times.
3 times. And this is it right here.
That's it right here.
The first John Deere tractor you sold as a Deere dealer.
Right, in 1973.
Wow. Very cool. Now, John, hop in here, John. I understand that you helped find this tractor.
My dad bought it in 1982.
Okay.
We owned it until 1991.
Mhm.
We traded for an 8450 with Tom,
Okay.
and then Tom sold it and lost
Yeah, I
Lost
sold-
track of it.
Right, lost track of it.
Okay.
Sold it from Missouri.
to a guy in Missouri, and we found it in Sedalia, Missouri,
Okay.
from another good friend of ours, a John Deere mechanic that worked at the dealership.
Yep.
And we found it back for Tom, and he got her back in his collection.
Okay. And John, you have some pretty strong thoughts on how Tom has been able to be a single store John Deere dealer here all these years. What's the key to success?
The service, Tom's service and Tom's word. So
Good
we
word
have
still
not-
means something.
When I needed something, or my dad needed something, or my son needed something, we'd call on Tom, and Tom would say, I'm gonna help you out the best way I can, and he'd do it all the
That is
time.
awesome. Well, very cool. It's kind of fun to have that first tractor back that you sold, huh, Tom?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now, I did notice this row, can we just call this the four-wheel drive row here, Tom?
Four-wheel drive will be good, right?
Now, I love looking at 8960s, but my eye is pulling down the row here a little bit, Tom, and I'm seeing some interesting models. Why don't you walk us down here?
Okay, I guess the next one here is 8850, and that's not a real rare tractor, but it's becoming a real rare tractor because there wasn't many left that had the John Deere motor. And a lot of them had the 855 Cummins because of some problems with motors.
Right.
And so we got this tractor here out of the south and totally rebuilt it.
Okay.
And made a decent tractor. We've used it on a limited basis, but not a lot on the
Okay.
farm.
I got a sharp-looking 8430 here.
Right, right. That's a 8430. It's got about 2,000 hours on it. That's original rubber on it yet.
2,000 original hours?
2,000 original hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did that come from right around here? Did you sell it?
No, I didn't sell it new, but it came from a friend of ours who passed away, and it sat in the shed for a number of years and wasn't used. And I guess the hardest thing on it was actually sitting around the shed.
Okay.
And then we brought it in and repainted it and went through everything on it. The fuel was just like glue in it because it sat so long. And that's
Wow.
one of the reasons for the very low hours.
Okay. Well, now I understand the next tractor has some significance to you too also, Tom?
That was 7520. I sold it new when I started in business, traded it back in, and we kept it on our farm for a number of years. And we kind of grew out of the 7520 and got 8630s and later on 8640s.
Okay.
And I sold it again, traded in. It was in my possession 3 different times, and I relocated it about 4 or 5 years ago, and thought I wanted to keep it forever because it was basically my first 4-wheel drive, and,
Okay.
and here it is today in the shed.
So you're a persistent devil, aren't you, Tom?
Yes.
You wanted it and you got it. That's
Yes.
good. Now, not something I see every day here. What do we got? WA14.
WA14 and WA17s, those are 2 very low production number tractors. Jake can probably tell, what was the production number?
They've made 60 total.
Of the WA14s?
Yeah, they made of the pair.
Of the pair.
They made 33 17s, 27 14s.
Okay. I remember the number 27 from the Heber auction.
Mhm.
It was one of 27. That one brought 80,000. How long have you guys had the 14?
We got them both on the same day.
Yeah.
Now that's a good day there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Same person, same
Wow.
day. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
a friend
cool.
of ours from Watseka owned the tractors, Darryl
Nice.
Fisher, and he decided to sell them several years ago.
I think one of the interesting things about it is I got out the invoice, the stickers on the tractors.
Ah,
The
how much?
WA17, I've got the original sticker on it. It was a pretty well decked out WA17, and it was $41,000.
Wow.
And that's a lot less than anything comparable
Wow.
to
Isn't that
it today.
something?
It's just unbelievable how the prices
Yeah,
have changed.
that changes, no kidding. Well, let's go get a look at that WA17 there. Now, we saw the Heber auction October 31st. The buzz around that WA17 was just amazing, and the chatter around it. So, pretty cool to have a 14 and a 17 right next to each other here.
Right.
And I
Both
understand.
original, they haven't been painted on at all, and
Very cool.
they run good, and wouldn't
Now-
be afraid to take them out and use them today.
There you go. Now, even though this is the end of the row, we have something around the corner. I think the folks are going to want to see another 4-wheel drive. Can you take us there, Tom?
80-20, yes.
There you go, an 80-20. Again, don't see many of those. And I heard you had quite the 4-wheel drive collection, so this does not disappoint, Tom. There we go. 80-20, wow. Now, is this the most recent one you got to the collection, or have you had it a while?
Well, we've had it a while too, what, 2-3
Okay.
years, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got an 8-bottom fully mounted plow with it, which is really unique. And the lift height is just amazing. Jake, you want to start it up and we'll show you how it lifts?
There you go, folks. You weren't kidding.
I wasn't kidding about the height of the plow. No,
You
I
were not kidding, Tom.
No.
That is really something. Wow. Well, thanks for that demo, Jake. That is good stuff. Now, do many people want to come in and see your 4-wheel drive tractors, Tom?
A lot of people, I guess, who know about it. We haven't advertised about it all.
You realize you could probably sell tickets. That's really cool. And again, most of the tractors here, and again, looking down the road here, we're next to a brand new, looks like 9530, just gorgeous. Another 9530. These are tractors you guys farm
We
with.
farm with the 9510 and 2 9530s we farm with.
Okay. So you're running the dealership and farming all
Yeah.
these years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, this has been a fun start. Now I understand there's a little bit more to see.
There's a little more to see.
Okay, let's go. All right, folks, we couldn't quite get out of the first shed yet. I made Tom and Jake stop here. This 4620, and then just beautiful 4320 and a pair of 4020s, and then just a gorgeous 3020 diesel power shift. Man, these are some awesome tractors, guys.
Thank you.
Now, what's around the corner here behind the 8285R? I think we got some kind of.
We got 3 4230s All three of which are open station
Hmm.
power shifts.
You know how many of those were made, Jake?
I don't know the production numbers on an open station power shift.
But don't see a ton of them around.
No, you don't. This particular one's got factory down exhaust. There's no hole in the hood. Hood's all in one piece.
Okay.
It's never been patched.
Oh,
And it also has a convertible front end, which means we can
Hmm.
change it from a roll-o-matic to a wide front end.
really? Very cool. And did you do some of the work on these then, or?
I did. I've overhauled both of these. We put high compression pistons in both of them to make them start
Okay.
in cold weather. They'll start instantly on a 20-degree day.
Wow, they're just
Um,
beautiful.
This one had a cab on it when we got it. It didn't come that way factory,
Okay.
and I can change it back to an open station tractor.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. And yep, here's our third 4230. Very fun.
This one here has well over 10,000 hours on it.
This one in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's unbelievable to see tractors that with 10,000 hours.
These days? Yeah, it's fun. These tractors were kind of built to last back in the day, huh, Tom?
They were.
And here's the 3020, folks. So this is an early one?
Yeah.
Diesel power shift, you said?
Right.
Power shift turbos.
Okay. Again, look at these tractors, folks. Just awesome. I love the mix. The modern with the classic and the rare, and all with a story attached to them.
This is another tractor that's kind of unique too, Greg. This is a 3010 diesel utility.
Okay.
You see a lot of 3010 diesels, but this is a 3010 diesel utility.
And
Low profile.
don't see those every day, yeah. Okay. Now after that delay, let's go on to the what else you got to show me, Tom.
We got a couple more buildings.
This is really fun. All right, folks, we're on to the next building area here, and oh my goodness, look what we found here. Tom, holy cow. What is this room? This is amazing.
This is my meeting room.
That's quite a meeting room.
Yeah.
Wow. That's one of the most amazing fireplaces I've ever seen. Holy smokes. Even got upstairs. Now I understand that we're not that far from some more tractors here.
More tractors right around the corner.
Lead the way, brother.
Okay.
I understand this little area, Tom, normally has a guest horse.
Our mayor's full of this building right here.
There you go. Very cool. How do you find time to do the horses with the machinery business and farming and
Work it
collecting? Work it in.
Just work it in.
You are very efficient. That's awesome. Well, look at this room ahead. My goodness. Lead the way, Tom.
Okay.
So we got some, now not just green here, we got some farmalls and, so you're not totally green these days.
No, we're not totally green. We've got small color stuff.
Okay. And so just again, all the earlier models, you just try to pretty much nail them and get them in the collection, huh?
Especially the ones that are a little bit rare. We like
Right.
that, right.
Okay. Well, walk us through here.
Okay. Well, we got a 320, 420, 440 gas, BR, HN, 435 diesel, LA, the elevator.
Let's catch up on the red here. We got Super H.
It's a 54-mile Super H with live hydraulics.
Beautiful.
39H, first year for the H.
Okay.
Farmall HV, it's a high crop H.
Okay.
Beyond that is a 300 high crop.
300 high crop. Nice.
And the last red one there is a 39M that I restored.
So again, just intrigued by the red, or just kind of mix it up, Jake?
Just mix it up.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of the restoration. You do the restoration yourself.
I've done a lot of restorations here. Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you pick up the skill set? Just over the years?
Yeah, I would say so.
Wow. Very, very impressive. Okay, Tom. This is a kind of a deep shed here. We're still going.
So we've got a 40 high crop, 420 high crop. This is a 730 Argentina diesel. This was actually being made yet while the 4010s were being produced. It was
Okay.
shipped abroad. We've got an A high crop.
An A high crop. Right across from about the prettiest 4230 you'll ever see.
Right, this is Jake's tractor here. It's a 4230 narrow front that he's been through from the bottom to the top. And it pretty much looks like new yet.
It does. It's like going back to 1973 or 4 when you started, huh, Tom?
Yes, it is.
Very cool.
Then we've got a 730 LP.
Nice. Another 6030.
6030 with a cab.
How many, you have two 6030s, Tom?
Yeah, we've got two 6030s, one with a cab, one without a cab.
We got a planter here.
Got an old John Deere mounted plant. I've got a 720 Wheatland. 5010 diesel.
Every good collection should have one of those.
Got an 830 diesel here. And then we've got a little primarily high crops. We've got a 1010 high crop, 101.
This is,
2010
there's only
gas.
one of these made.
One
One John Deere 10 high crop. And this is it right here. How long have you had this thing?
a couple of years.
It must be a rush to find that, a one of one.
101.
Wow.
Got a 2010 high crop gas, a 2010 high crop LP. We've got a 4230 low profile power shift. That's a very low serial number tractor.
Beautiful.
We've got 2510 diesel high crop, 4430 diesel high crop,
High crop. Wow.
3020 console diesel high crop, 3020 diesel utility power shift, 4230 high crop.
This is pretty good engineering to fit these all in here, by the way,
Yes,
guys.
it is.
This is quite a feat.
3020 diesel Wheatland, 3010 diesel Archer.
Man. So again, Tom, you said kind of right when you started as a John Deere dealer, early 70s, you started kind of acquiring a little bit here and there.
Right, actually I started when I was in the Deutsch business prior to that in '69, but if we found a tractor that was a little unusual or unique in that, we kept it back. And
Okay.
been doing that for a number of years in that.
4020 high crop?
4020 diesel high crop.
Okay.
2520 diesel power shift.
Ooh.
That's real rare.
Nice.
4620 diesel. Here again, it's a power shift. There's very few in a power
Yeah.
shift.
Now, Tom, what are you standing by here at the end of our journey in this ship? Wow. There you-
Waterloo boy.
Waterloo boy waiting for us at the end of the rainbow. Wow. You picked that up down south, I understand.
Got that from Arizona.
Arizona. Look at that. Had you been looking for one for a while?
Quite some time. Quite some time.
That must have been fun to bring it home here to Belleville,
Back to
Illinois, huh?
Belleville. Yes, it was.
Back home where she belongs. Well, this, you just take a look back through the shed here, folks. Jake had sent me a picture, and it's really something to walk through here. You could spend a lot of time just looking at any one of these tractors, sitting and lingering. They're so beautiful. The high crops, a one of one John Deere 1010, and then our Waterloo boy here at the end. Tom, this is just amazing.
We've got an 80 diesel and a 430 T
Okay.
and a 60 Archer LP over here.
Okay. Wow. So now we've seen two unbelievable sheds. Is that all you got?
I got a couple more sheds.
You got a couple more. Okay, let's go see. Tom, I see a door leading somewhere. Where are we going?
We're going to look at some horse-drawn antiques.
So it's not just tractors that you have?
No, we've got a few horse-drawn antiques too.
Oh. You have a few, Tom. Wow, folks, this is amazing to pan around here. Wow. Have you always been into collecting these other type of implements and horse-drawn, Tom, or is it just recently, or?
No, I've started the horse-drawn collecting quite some time ago, and we finally just assembled it in one building.
Okay, this is amazing. The smell in here is just fantastic. This is just incredible.
Well, I can't tell you how many gallons of linseed oil we've put on this wood.
Yeah,
I mean, it's into the hundreds.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had this, it's a wonderful smell, but the history here, I mean, it smells like history, John Deere history here. Just tell us what's around the room here, Tom.
Well, basically, starting on the top row, there's an 1899 John Deere buggy. It's original, got the original leather seats.
What year did you say?
1899. By serial number.
Wow.
It's the first year they made the buggy. Then there's a row of John Deere buggies up. There's a couple enclosed buggies, a two-seat open buggy, a single-seat buggy, and a doctor's buggy. There's a Lansing box wagon, followed by a bird cell. There's a livestock wagon, a belly dump dirt wagon, and then a hay tedder. And then the next row underneath it, we've got a two-horse treadmill, a couple of box wagons, a town and country wagon, a belly dump dirt wagon, a horse-drawn fire truck wagon, an Owensboro box wagon, a Triumph wagon, a Keller wagon, a David Bradley wagon, a three-box John Deere wagon, a pull-type Orchard sprayer, a pull-type horse-drawn oil tank delivery wagon.
Yeah, now that's the Polar, what is that?
Polarine is grease and oil that
Polarine?
Standard made.
Okay.
It was our grease division and that.
Where did you find it?
I found the tank by itself at a sale, and then I found a running gear, and we made all the wood, redid all the wood, and put it all back together and assembled it.
And then how about kind of behind the Polarine?
There's the original Conestoga wagon, a prairie schooner.
A prairie schooner. Wow.
We got to stop and then.
Yeah, let's take a little look. Let's take a walk around here, Tom. Tom, we're in the center of this shed now, and this is quite a row here. What do we have?
This is a collection of mowers I have. These two right here, these are one-horse John Deere and a one-horse International mower.
Okay.
Got the 4-foot mower bore on because it's just a single horse. Got shafts instead of a pole. And starting down at the other end, it's the Dane mower, which Deere had Dane build mowers for a couple of years. And then they came out with the number 1,
Okay.
which was basically the same as the number 1, but it bear the John Deere trademark, followed by the number 2, the number 3, the number 4 on steel, the number 4 on rubber. Then we've got a Minnesota mower, a Case mower, a McCormick, a New Idea, a number 7, and number 9 high gear.
Wow. I don't think I know I've never seen a collection of mowers like that. That's quite something, Tom. And this is the fire engine you were telling us about?
This is a horse-drawn fire tank wagon. This is a belly dump dirt wagon. We did this one from the ground up. The hubs are original. Half the spokes are original. The felloes we had bent, they were bent in Pennsylvania, made out of oak. All the wood is new. We kept basically the iron. Had to improvise some of the mechanism to crank up the doors on the bottom. But it's in really ready to go shape.
Wow.
Down the line from here, we've got an Owensboro wagon, a John Deere Triumph wagon, a Keller on steel wheels, a David Bradley, and a 3-tier John Deere wagon. We've got an old wooden Baker planter that was preceded the check planters. Basically, you planted your corn a long ways, and you had two drivers. One drove the horses, and the other one checked the corn. Every time you crossed the row going the opposite way, the man checked it. Or later on, we used check wire in that.
Okay.
Then we've got this oil tank wagon I acquired a number of years ago.
That's beautiful.
Redid all the wood, the stenciling, the seat, footboard, brakes, and we did the oil box in the back.
Do you get many requests, Tom, to take some of these pieces out to shows and such?
We do. I don't like to dig it out.
Yeah.
particularly, and most of all of it has been not exposed to any.
Sure.
We got dehumidifiers and everything in here.
Yeah, what an
We got
environment.
some of the bottles, and this is a wooden kerosene bucket here for delivery. And basically, you know, back in these days, people didn't keep any gas or oil. They had, you know, lamps
Yep.
and maybe a gas stove.
Right.
So at most, they have a 50-gallon drum or just 5-gallon bucket of gas. So
Right.
it was delivered door to door, just like the milk was. After this, we've got an international corn binder, and behind this, we've got an original prairie schooner, and I do mean original, and that you can see the actual wood. That is the color of the wood and how the wagon was. We put probably 40 coats of linseed oil on it to put some texture back in the wood, but
Wow.
this is all the original wood. There's this one minor repair on the felloes there on the wheels, and other than that, the top has been replaced. Everything.
Think of the history on that wagon. What
Yeah,
that,
if you think of a wagon that was used in the 1840s, 1850s, went across probably the country, and it's sitting back here in the shop, and it's in this kind of condition.
piece of American history here,
Right,
Tom.
it is.
What we got here now? Cotton harvester?
This is a number 31 John Deere cotton stripper.
Okay.
It's the only one I've ever seen. I'm sure there's maybe someone in the world somewhere. But it's in very, very good shape. Even the snoots on the front of it are just nearly perfect. It couldn't have been used too much. It came out of Arizona, and I'm sure the dry climate is what protected it.
Sure. Oh my goodness, look what we have here.
We have a stagecoach there.
A
That is a
stage.
reproduction stagecoach. This milk wagon is very unique. This isn't original. This isn't. It's still got the holes in the front where the lines went through to drive the milk wagon. We've got the milk crates and everything for delivering the milk.
Very
We've got the
cool.
insulated box that you kept your cheese and butter and this type of stuff in.
Ah. Did you pick that up locally, or where
No,
did you
this
find
came
it?
out of Indiana.
Yeah. You must have quite the radar to find things. You and Jake keeping your eyes open and looking, huh?
A lot of it just finds us too, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, people know what you've amassed here. This is incredible. And here we go, Shiloh Valley Equipment.
That's the
Look-
hitch wagon we use with our 6 horses. And
Look at that. That is beautiful. And a David Bradley spreader.
David Bradley spreader. We've got a couple of neat items here. We've got a John Deere hay loader, and up against the wall is a John Deere buck rake.
Wow. And then what do we have?
Behind here we got this 3060 Ultimate trailer, which is one of the bigger gas tractors ever made,
Wow.
and we've got it belted up to a case separator. It's an 1892 wooden case separator.
1892.
Right.
What a monster. Holy cow. How old do you suppose the tractor is? Do you know, Jake?
I don't know the year model offhand.
Very cool.
Um,
And we got plows upstairs on the other side.
Those are plows on the top. There are plows just, and there's a goat treadmill.
A goat treadmill.
A goat treadmill. A goat treadmill was used for running a corn sheller or a wash machine or something like that. Put your little goat on the front of it, tied him to the front, took the brake off, and he had a walker fall down.
That is awesome. Can we go look at the goat treadmill?
We can go up and look at goat treadmill.
Okay,
Yes, we
let's
can.
go. Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Okay, now we're upstairs. Wow. Tell us about these plows here, Tom.
It's a Massey Harris sulky plow here, a John Deere left-handed sulky plow, a Minneapolis Moline disc plow. Use that a lot and cleared ground in that. This is a Emerson sulky with a sod bottom. You can see it's got the long moldboard on it.
Okay.
P&O. We've got a John Deere Skag plow here. That's an old plow, probably prior to when we even used a coulter. And that, a Danner's plow. Another Emerson, but this is an Emerson 2-bottom gang. We've got a John Deere one-row cultivator, another John Deere one-row cultivator. But I think what's unique about this, if you've ever driven many horses, this one you had to drive, and you actually guided the cultivator shovels with the stirrups down here. So you had to try and have the lines in your hands and hold the handles and have your feet on the stirrups, so you could vary the width of your row and maybe take a few extra weeds out with your feet.
A different kind of multitasking, huh?
It was multitasking, definitely early multitasking. This is an international cultivator, a 99 John Deere planter, another Baker, a Hayes planter, an international two-row planter, and here on the very end we've got a goat treadmill.
A goat treadmill.
A goat treadmill. You brought your goat on here, you tied him to the front, you took your brake off here, and he had to start walking. When he started walking, the wheel started turning, whenever you got hooked on the wheel. So it's basically operated a corn sheller or a little wash machine or something like that.
Tom, I've never seen a goat treadmill before. That's pretty cool.
It's the real
Very
deal.
cool. And folks, again, just look at this. Think of the love and passion and hours and work that was involved in amassing this collection. History is what you've got here, Tom. It's our collective history. That's amazing. So Nicole, what do we have here?
A 2-horse treadmill. It has not been used. It looks like it's been used, but it has not. And it makes power.
Okay. 2 horses, huh?
Yep.
Wow. How did you learn so much about it?
I've looked at it for quite a while, and people told me about it.
Do you like horses?
Yes.
That's really cool. I don't know that I've ever seen one, Nicole. I thank you for telling me all about it.
You're welcome.
You have a lot of things you can learn here in Grandpa Shed, can't you?
Yep.
Very fun. Well, thanks again, Nicole. All right, Tom, we're back down on the main floor here, and what caught my eye was the blacksmith side. And I posted a lot online. I have a soft spot for anvils. My great-grandfather was a blacksmith, Tom. So do we have something behind the doors here?
We do have a few things behind the doors.
Can we take a
We
peek?
sure can take a peek.
All right.
We've got a couple animals out here outside and a forge over here. Went inside. We've got a little blacksmith shop that we've set up. A lot of stuff came out of my grandpa's blacksmith shop.
Your grandpa was a blacksmith?
He was a farmer and a blacksmith.
Nice.
Basically we got a line shaft like it was set up. We're going to set up some drill presses and things to run off the grinders off the line shaft. We've got a hit and miss engine. We're going to use the power the line shaft.
Yeah.
Got a couple forges over here with some of the blacksmith's tools he used.
Wow.
We've got these cone anvils here,
Yep.
and which were basically used for forming different kind of rings. And a lot of them had a little keyway in them. You wrapped your steel in there and then brought it around in a circle when it was hot. These two particularly don't. This is another anvil here. It's got a hardy in it, which is a little unusual, for a shear. And all different kind of hardies that went in there to do different type of steel forming. Basically a sheet metal bench here for doing sheet metal work and that. Several different types of vices. This was a grinder vise right here. And I've got a post drill behind you there and a couple of pedal grinders.
Wow. Tom, that's a pretty neat little blacksmith shop behind the doors here.
Behind the doors.
Very cool. All right, around the corner from the blacksmith shop, Tom, we have another room, and wow, quite a collection here. What do we got going? Why don't you tell us about it?
Okay, well, along this wall right here, we've got a few unique items. This is an old, popcorn popper you would have used over a fireplace. This is a medicine bit. This you put on a horse like you're putting a bridle on, and you poured the medicine down in this little funnel right here, and it came out through this hole. And that was really the good way of drenching a horse rather than using the bottle and you wearing half the medicine on yourself.
Right.
That's a Wells Fargo telescope, track jack, bee smoker, a Loudon single tree, a post drill. Right here below it, we have a V plow that took at least 6 horses to pull because there's wings that went on there that stuck back another 6 foot on each side, so that took quite a bit of real horsepower. Settling maker, miner's bucket, couple apple peelers, cherry pitter, different types of stanchions there in the ground. This is a really unique apple peeler. You stuff it, done, 1 apple.
That'll get it done.
That's neat. We've got some very early planters here. This planter was probably the most unique. They took the wheel down there with a ring gear on the side that converted that motion to this bell crank here that ran those 2 sticks that went back and forth that had holes that opened up to drop the seed through. Which was probably a very early forerunner of the Maximerge planter today.
There you go.
We've got a Planet Judah planter here, a couple other old wooden planters, a very early field cultivator, and this is actually a Sears and Roebuck wheelbarrow seeder. Still got the decal and rate chart on the inside of it. And when you push this down the field with your, say, your clover seed in it, this little cam ran off this wheel and that moved this arm back and forth, and you move this pin to lengthen or shorten the throw of this arm.
Okay.
And that lengthen and shorten the throw of the ropes. And you see the clover.
Let me get a close up on that. There you go, folks. Don't see that kind of stuff every day. Quite a-
Double shovel field cultivator. A lot of people heard about double shovels, but that's a true double shovel
Okay.
cultivator. A John Deere 1-row planter. A couple other Planet Junior planters.
And you even got the seats going on the wall, huh, Tom?
And our cast iron seat collection up there. This is a kind of a unique piece here. This is an ice cutter. It's not a chisel plow or anything like this.
An
It's
ice cutter?
And basically one man sat there and one person went back here and you had a team of horses on the front and you varied the width of your cut of ice by moving these blades in these different holes and you scored the ice. You came back and scored the ice the other way. Then you either took the ice saw or sledgehammer and broke the ice off, take the gaffs that we got upstairs and floated it on down and went up to a board and floated it onto a sled and was put in an ice house after that.
An ice cutter. That is really cool, Tom.
This is a Rock Highland 3-bottom horse-drawn plow. It's not a tractor plow, it's actually a horse plow. And it took 9 to 12 head of horses to pull this plow.
Jeez.
John Deere Lister planter, a 3-bottom walking plow, an Emerson gang plow, a goat treadmill. We've got an ox cart and a 1903 bachelor's grown taxicab. It's cut under and was very ornate in its day.
1903 taxi cab, huh? Kind of like ancient Uber, huh? Look at that. That's just beautiful. So now I noticed some stairs at the end of this room, and after so far in our visit here, I'm wondering what's up those stairs, Tom.
We've got a few more items upstairs.
All right, let's go have a look.
Those are 2 St. Louis stoves right there.
Could basically stand here for hours, folks, and just linger and look at these, look at everything. It's just unbelievable. And here's our winding staircase. Okay, folks, up at the top of the winding stairs. Tom, it just doesn't stop. This is amazing. This is just incredible. The eye is pulled so many directions here. It's just so much to see. Just incredible. What do people say when they come and see this for the first time?
Well, I guess there's a few oohs and ahs, but a lot of people who come here, they're older people that can relate to using this stuff, and
Sure.
they really enjoy to look and
Right.
see what they used as they were a kid, you know.
You bet. Wow. Just let the camera pan here, folks. Jake, you grew up around this kind of stuff? I mean, holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know as much about the primitive stuff, but tractors I know through and through.
Must have been fun over the years with Pop getting in and finding stuff, and then beautiful restoration work you do.
Sure, it was.
Really something. Do you have many requests for outside restoration jobs on the tractors?
I do have some. I've done a few.
Got to pick your spots though, time-wise, I suppose.
Time permitting, yeah.
Right. Wow, quite a room here. This is just incredible, Tom. Now, is this the end of the rainbow? Is this it?
No, not quite.
More? Okay, lead on.
Okay. I can give you an explanation on some of the stuff here. Those are basically ox yokes right there, different sizes and that. These are various tools and that were used on the farm, like that bundle fork there, a big ladle for storing cattle meat or apple butter, and that we've got a collection of bits here, still some wrenches, jacks. We've got a lot of buggy wrenches, box wagon wrenches, implement wrenches, hay knives, some more pipe wrenches and still some wrenches. This is really unique here. This blade is laying on the floor, goes underneath this saw, and the saw blade projects through there. And this was a giant riding saw. There was very few of these things made. And you pump this back and forth like an exercise bike.
Really?
And you convinced your wife to saw wood for you. That's a good exercise. If she wouldn't go for that story, you could tell her she could use one of these hand saws.
Okay.
These saws here you can all do by yourself. It's not a two-man job at all. The saws hanging on the wall are two-man saws.
Wow.
And that saw right there, there's two of them here. Those are both ice saws. And those would be used in conjunction with that ice cutter that's downstairs. And if the ice was, say, over a foot thick, you couldn't score it deep enough and break it with a sledge, then you'd have to bore one hole and just start sawing the ice off and then break it off.
Okay.
And that right here next to Jake is a collection of butter churns. This is a Renner churn here. Everybody, I think, thought they had a different mousetrap when it came to making butter and that. And this one you spun. It's got paddles on the inside and that. And you spun it like that. And this one is a Davis swinging churn. And it's got paddles on the inside and you rocked it back and forth to make your butter.
Okay.
This one here's got a paddle with a bunch of holes in it. This one here has an auger in it with holes. This one's the same way. It's basically a churn that has got an auger with holes in it. And that one there was a drum churn, but you basically spun the drum round and round. Use that for making your butter. This is dairy equipment, milking equipment, cream separators. It's a bull lead hanging there. You basically put that lead in the ring in the bull's nose, let him round like that. That's an old grain scoop that came out of one of our granaries. That was a buttermilk and sweet milk dispenser. We've got a collection of stanchions, which I got some downstairs also, but this stanchion right here was an early wooden stanchion, which was very primitive. You had that block, you flipped to the side, and when the cow wins, it worked just as effective
Okay.
as the new ones do.
Wow.
But that's a very old stanchion. These stanchions came out of our barn. This is a little giant ice cutter. When you got your ice in blocks and you wanted to use it for packing meat and that type of stuff, threw your chunks in there and then ground up. The same company that made the augers and the elevators.
What company was that?
Little Giant.
Little Giant. Okay. There you go.
Back in this corner we got sausage making equipment. This is an early 1800s sausage stuffer here. You pull this plunger out. You had a fixed tube down here for your casings to go over, and you push down on it and squeeze your sausage out there. Then a little later on, in the later 1800s, this one here was made. This one's got a wooden screw on it. And you screw it in and your sausage came out the horn there. And then later on, in later years, they went with this stuff right here. Looks almost like a Gatling gun. It's got a big steel crank and big
Yeah.
steel gears on it.
Wow.
Make your sausage. And then back in the early mid 1800s, there was this type of sausage stuffer where you filled the cylinder up and squeezed it out the front right here.
Gotta have our sausage.
Gotta have the sausage. This is the rest of the elevator. It's downstairs. It's stuck through the wall. This is an early John Deere scale and a couple other brass scales there. This was a scale that came out of a cotton gin. A good friend of mine gave me this, and it's 500 pounds in a bale of cotton, and you move that weight down here on the 500 pound mark, and there was an apparatus down on this end. It was like a huge umbrella. And you dumped your bulk loose cotton on there till it balanced at 500 pounds, and then you had your bale.
And you knew. Very cool.
Another scale here. This is a unique piece over here. This is an iceless well cooler. A lot of people would crank a bucket down in the well and keep their butter, cream, and milk in there to keep it cool.
Yep.
This one was fancy. It had all kind of compartments. You cranked it down in the well, kept your cream and butter and cheese and all that type of stuff. And when you were ready for a meal, you cranked it up and took off what you needed. And after supper was over or dinner was over, you cranked it back down in the well to keep it cool.
Just like the compartments in our fridges today, huh?
Yes, oh yes.
Very cool.
This is the wine press that my family had and cider press that they had.
Don't tell me you make wine yourself. Don't tell me that, Tom. I don't know how you have time.
I don't make wine myself anymore, I really don't. There's a clipper mill there with an elevator on it. Grain cleaner. This is a small stationary spike combine. Got a double spike cylinder, got straw walkers down here, got a table in the front that you feed it with. And these two rows right here, is everything that you need to keep your seed corn and make seed corn.
Okay.
Basically, when we were downstairs, we had a sack, it was by the box wagon, you kept the best ears. You threw them in a sack, you brought them, and you put them on this grain dryer. All your ears hung here so the rodents couldn't get at them and they dried out evenly.
Yep.
Then you ran them through the sheller. And then you ran them through the grain grater right here.
Okay.
Took your rounds, your flats, the medium rounds, separated all those. Then you ran them through your grain cleaner.
Okay.
Cleaned the grain. After you did that, you put them in this grain germinator. This is a corn germinator here,
Okay.
or bean, to make any difference. It's got 100 cells. And the cotton cheesecloth was moistened and put above the seeds. And you put a kerosene lamp down here, and if you had 100 grains of corn and 90 of them sprouted, you had 90% germ. It was pretty basic and pretty simple.
There you go.
But in those days, you didn't pay $300 for a bag of seed corn. You kept the best ears you had, used them over again, and there was virtually very little seed cost.
Made it work. And folks, just everywhere your head turns in here, there's just cool stuff. I mean, it's just remarkable. Tom, I'm just astounded at what you guys have amassed here. It's just kind of mind blowing. Now, have we reached the end now?
We can go upstairs and look at a few more things.
Okay, lead on. Okay, well, now we've come upstairs here, Tom, and wow, what do we have up here?
Well, right here we have a Loudon hay sling. Basically, you put two of these on a wagon,
Yep.
on a flat wagon. Hopefully you loaded your flat wagon with a hay loader. Two people forked the hay across the base of the wagon, got the wagon full, and you brought the wagon to the barn. You pulled alongside the barn like this barn would be here. You ran your hay car out to the end of the track, had a rope with a hook on it. You gathered up both sides of the sling, brought them together. And you brought them up into the barn with your horse through the pulley system on the outside of the barn. When you got the hay sling in the barn, you tripped to one side, the hay sling fell open, and the hay fell out on a big pile in the barn. And to this point, we've eliminated a lot of labor. There's not a lot of moving bales or anything like that. We've loaded with a hay loader
Yep.
and that. But when we got this hay in the barn and you wanted to feed it to the cattle, It was like growed together. You put the fork on this end of the barn and the hay on the other end of the barn almost had to move. That's where we got those tools down there. Those are hay cutters and hay knives. That one that looks like it's got sickle sections on the bottom, that was a foot operated one. Those other two were hand operated hay knives. And you basically cut a section of hay off and you took your fork and took it down to the hole in the barn and threw it down in the manger below.
Okay.
This is a Loudon single tree here, and this was used in conjunction with the hay slings and that. You put this on the breeching of the horse. These ropes went on the breeching of the horse, and you hooked your rope that pulled all this hay sling up to the barn, and the reason it was curved, it would fit around the horse's rump, and it would hang on the breeching, so when he backed up, he didn't step on the single tree, and it would take the rope away without anybody stepping on it. Right here we have a big bread dough pan. It's a large wooden pan.
Bread dough pan?
Yeah, you can basically make 3-4 loaves of bread.
I was going to say that.
Roll the dough out in there.
Wow.
We've got a rope maker over there. Kerosene cans, warm morning stoves, coffee grinder, pitcher pumps. And right here we have a harness vise. Basically, when you were working on harness or leather goods and that, you straddle this like this, and these clamps went open, and you put your harness or your leather work in there. You locked it down there with your foot, put your rivets, and did your stitching with it.
I don't think you've missed anything, Tom. This is amazing. This is so much fun.
Sap buckets.
Oh, I was going to ask you where the sap
Those are
buckets
sap
were.
buckets
I
right
was
here,
kind of
yeah.
disappointed you didn't have any, but I'm glad you do. Sap bucket. That's awesome. Very cool.
Those are little brooders for hens that were sitting on eggs, so the coyotes and the coons couldn't get them. Egg scales. Those are actually not cream buckets. Those are actually measuring buckets for oil. They go with that standard oil tank wagon down below.
Love the old Petroliana here too. Very cool. Very cool. Man, there's just fun stuff everywhere here, Tom.
What you had. A team of horses on it, and the team of horses ran this ring gear that runs this pinion gear that runs that PTO shaft that runs that belt assembly that we just looked at,
Yeah.
which runs the pulley on the side of the separator.
Wow. That's about all I can say, Tom, is just wow. One big wow here. Just,
That's a windlass there out of the well cleaning system that we had. These are all different kind of hay cars. There's over 100 different models and makes of hay cars. And you can see the older they are, primarily the wider the wheels are. Like this set right here has got about 4 inches apart. They used 4x4s for the track in the old barns. The later ones had steel track on it. And you can see some had 3x3s, the other ones had 4x4s, and the later cars have got the narrow wheels for the steel tracks.
wow.
These are different hay forks. These are grab forks. That was the alternative to using the hay slings off the wagon. You put those forks on it. But the hay sling, the idea of it was it did a clean job of taking most all the load up in the barn. Well, this wasn't as good for cleaning off the last of the crumbs of the hay as what the slings were.
Okay, another door, folks. And Tom, what? Looks like we got some buggies.
Well, this is a triple box wagon to start off with. And then we have an 1899 John Deere 2-seat Surrey. It's actually still got the guarantee sticker that you can read real plain underneath the seat yet. The original leather fenders on it yet. And then we've got some Reliance and John Deere buggies here. That's an enclosed buggy there. A John Deere 2-seat Surrey. A single seat buggy.
Tom, I got to ask you all the different things over the years finding. Did you have a soft spot? Anything in particular that was most fun for you to find? Buggies or old dairy equipment or what? Equally love it all?
I love it all, really. I guess box wagons are the neatest thing, but
Okay.
it's really hard to find good named box wagons that are in good shape.
Okay.
Nothing breaks my heart more than somebody says, well, I want a nice one, I'm gonna put it in my yard. And I just about want to cry. I hate that.
You know how hard they are to find,
Oh,
yeah.
they're hard to find, and to let them sit outside is terrible. You know?
Right, okay.
This is one we just finished restoring.
How long does it take to,
Once you get there now.
to restore a wagon like that?
What's that?
How long does it take to restore a wagon?
These wagons here, the good box wagons, aren't bad at all. If they're good, if they're not.
Okay.
I hate to do much restoring on a box wagon because it takes away from that. The buggies, these buggies were just absolute junk.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, we
They're-
put floors in them. This one's got a hole in the top, seat cushions, dashboard. You know, it's, somebody can give you a buggy, and because they're not worth a lot when they're rough, and you've got $3,000 in it before you get turned around, you know.
Well, to take it from that condition to what it is now, it's that's pretty amazing, Tom.
Yeah, they were pretty tough looking when we got them. This is a Lansing. This is a bird cell box wagon here, which bird cell is famous for their clover hollers and their threshing equipment and that.
Yep.
And it's probably one of the better bird cell box wagons I've seen. This is a livestock wagon.
Okay.
For hauling your hogs or sheep to
Oh,
market.
sure.
And this is another belly dump dirt wagon. And last but not least, this is a hay tender. And this is the late 1800s, 1880s, 1890s. And the whole carriage, what's unique about it, it's on rack and pinion. To kick it out of gear moves the whole carriage back. And when you engage it, it just moves it right into the gear. It couldn't be any simpler. And to think that a tool like this is still alive in 2015
It's amazing.
is amazing.
It is amazing, Tom.
It's amazing.
And I love that you've helped see that it is so. And that's got to be satisfying to
Oh yeah, it is. Lots of linseed on it.
lots of linseed off. Again, this shed just has an just love the ambiance and just everything and the smell, and it's just kind of like a dreamland in here. It's fantastic, Tom. Now, you still have one more shed?
One more shed.
Okay, let's go see it. Okay, folks, we were leaving the last building here, and we came across something that I just have to have Tom tell you about. Tom, what do we got?
We've got a copper bathtub here.
A copper?
A copper bathtub. And this was taken out of the second story of an old home that was close to our business here. And they had a pressure windmill pump that pumped water to the second story of the house that they kept in a vat that they used to heat and then put in this copper bathtub.
A copper bathtub.
And when we got it, you couldn't even tell it was copper. It looked like it just was gray paint in it. But I guess the soap and the calcium through the years with the hard water. And we
You're saying it was actually a
it
wardrobe
was a
too?
wardrobe bathtub. You could actually tilt it up against the wall. And
So take your tub and then fold it up.
right.
Man.
Right.
Copper bathtub. That's astounding. Thanks for showing us that, Tom. That's cool.
We've got some stills here also. And that moonshine stills.
Oh yeah. I was at an auction in Indiana recently, and one of the auctioneers asked if I wanted some moonshine. He had some in the back of the truck. I did not try it. That is really cool. Moonshine here in Southern Illinois. It's just, you have to go slow when you walk through here, Tom, because every little thing you see, you want to learn about it, and it has a story to it. I sense that you really appreciate the story of these
The
items.
story's half of it. Yeah.
Right.
The acquiring it is half of it, really.
Yeah, this is so much fun. Well, folks, as we were leaving this amazing building here, Jody pointed our direction to this picture. And Jody, why don't you pick up the story here?
So this picture, I took a barn down at our cattle farm in southern Missouri. We took every piece of wood off of this barn. It was a double layer oak barn, and reused the wood to put back up here in the museum. That frame is actually made up from that wood too.
Oh, nice.
And this wall over here is the wood from that barn.
Jody, that is beyond cool, is all I can say there.
Yeah. You saw from the outside, it was blacksmith shop and everything is made from that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And when you were looking at that barn, Jody, did you just see possibilities in what other people would just chuck?
I think Dad saw the possibilities before I did, and we just went down and took it apart. And then the barn doors on the top, I actually designed
Wow.
those doors on the top of the upstairs up here. with
Hey,
that
folks,
wood,
that is just amazing because it's a busy world we all live in, and yeah, an old
We even kept the
barn.
metal off the roof and used the metal over.
I love it. I love it. Well, Jody, hats off for the idea and the execution. I'm sure the man hours involved were astronomical, but just this place is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Great job.
Thank you.
We're in the back row.
Well, Tom, this is the last shed.
This is the last shed. Not the last shed, but the last one to look at tonight.
And Tom, you're taken back to your roots here as an Alice Chalmers dealer with this D17, huh?
I worked for the Alice Chalmers dealers for 3-4 years, and so I got started with AC.
AC starting. Look where you are now. Holy cow. We got a Moline, a Farmall, some more Deere. Oh, awesome. How do you decide what tractors you guys want to work on, or it's got to be tough. You have so many choices.
Once we get something restored, we do our best to take care of it. We use aviation gas and gas tractors to keep the gas from deteriorating.
Okay.
And we use premium diesel fuel, non-bio, in the diesel tractors.
Okay. Tom, I got to ask you to have your son and daughter involved with the effort on the collecting front here and doing what you're doing. That's got to have been really fun over the years, I would imagine.
That's makes it real enjoyable. I guess it makes me feel good because I know after I die, this isn't going to die.
Right.
And Jody's son is very interested in it, and it's a family deal. It's not just
Right.
it's not just my deal.
I imagine again, and Jake, just the hours of again, it had to be fun on your end with Pop here, looking for things, finding them, acquiring them, bringing them back to life. And
We've had a lot of fun with it over the years. We sure have.
again, just unbelievable fun here. Holy cow! My mind is kind of spinning here. and this shed again, just a lot of tractors that you guys have picked up over the years. What is that? A 1206 way in the back?
Yeah.
And
1468.
68.
So at the end of our tour, way in the, you're hiding those on me? Come on now, no holding out, Tom. We gotta see these things. Because you know how hot these 1206s and 1468s are. You guys know. You know, I don't have to tell you.
Got an H on steel with a cultivator.
There you go. Now I gotta ask you guys, what did you think about the H that sold on the Mecum auction for $40,000 with 200 hours on it? What did you guys think of that when you heard about it?
I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Well, it's interesting to get people's reactions, yeah. Would you ever think an antique tractor like that could bring that much money?
Not an H, no.
Yeah.
Never, ever thought it could bring a fraction of that.
Right.
You know.
Just a little indication of the passion that people have for the history and the story, like we were talking, Tom, the story. Now again, those look pretty nice, that 1206 and 1468. What's the scoop there?
1206 I bought from a friend of mine in Wisconsin. It was a local tractor to him.
Okay.
I got it just like it is.
Okay.
They put a collection TA in it, and mechanically it's very sound.
Okay. And what about the 1468, Jake?
1468 I actually found about an hour north of here up towards Litchfield,
Okay.
and it was just like it is also.
Okay.
It's a good, tight old 1468.
Nice. Nice. Well, guys, you know what? This has just been unbelievably fun. And I really appreciate you taking time to show me. And I've been knocking around the block 26 and a half years, but an evening like this to see what you guys have done is just amazing. So a tip of the hat for what you guys have done and preserving our history here, agricultural history, and the passion you have for it. And it was so much fun to hear you guys talk about it. So thanks again for the tour and for doing what you've done.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're walking out of the last shed here, and Jake, you pointed something out that we need to shine the light on. Why don't you tell us about this particular tractor here?
This is a tractor. This is two styled John Deere D's hooked together in a tandem hitch. It was built by a farmer in the early 50s in Minnesota.
Okay.
It happened that their neighbor was the Steiger brothers. It's the winter following the winter after they built this tractor, the Steiger brothers proceeded to build their own tractor. So this was the inspiration behind the first Steiger tractor.
Right here, folks. There you go. Well, Jake, I'm glad you stopped us and gave us that history there. And yeah, there's just history everywhere in your guys' collection here. Just unbelievable.